Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. No, that'd be crazy. That'd be impossible. Okay. All right, so welcome back, everybody, to our second to last time we're here. So let's go ahead and go through this. So the quiz, again, you're only doing the front page only, and then we're going to kind of do a quick review of some of chapters 10 and 11 a little bit. We'll do more of it next class because we're not going to get a chance to do all of it today. Today you have Connect Math 11.1 and also Project Lab 10. You need to grab the data again, fresh from our project, because most likely you have reordered it in some time, in some point along the way, and so, person 27's data is not matched up on the same lines. It's gotten rearranged in some way. So just grab a clean, fresh copy. Your instructions say it's in part 1, but I was wrong. It's really in Canvas part 2. Under part 2 is where the, your instructions say part 2, but really in Canvas it's under part 1 is where that data is. So don't go to part 2 like the instructions say. I was wrong. It's a typo. It's really in Canvas part 1 where the link is to our class's data. On Thursday you have 11.3 due, and then on Sunday you have 11. Did I say 11? On Thursday you have 11.2 due, and on Sunday you have 11.3 due. That's your last homework of this semester. Good job getting through it all. You guys have been really working hard getting through this semester. I know it's been tough. And then reminder, the final is going to be 35% of it's going to be on chapters 10 and 11, because your exam 4 is rolled into the final. And the rest will be 20% on exam 1 stuff, 20% on exam 2 stuff, and 25% on exam 3 stuff. You do need to upload it as a PDF. So you want to either use Cam Scanner if you have an Android, or if you have an iPhone, you can use Cam Scanner or Notes. Or if you have some other way of getting it into a PDF, that's fine. If you have some way of scanning it, that's totally fine. Whatever way works for you, but I need it as a PDF. So for practice, your notes to get your extra credit for chapters 10 and 11 notes, I'm going to have you submit that only as a PDF under assignments. So if you go to assignments, there'll be a spot to upload your binder check for the final. So that'll be just notes 10 and 11 only. So just take pictures of those pages and then save them as a PDF and upload those under assignments. All right, the other thing is you have to log into class Zoom before the final to access it. So what does that mean? This is what this means. Austin, go ahead and read for me.
You must Zoom with me on your phone with video at the beginning of the final in order to get access to the final exam and confirm your computer setup. iPhone users will need the Zoom app on your phone. Students will be put in the Zoom waiting room and admitted 8 at a time to scan their computer setup and place their phone out of arm's reach facing their workspace/computer area while they log into Proctorial and start the test. Once they are in, I will disconnect them from the Zoom meeting and let in the next group. You may enter Zoom starting at 10 minutes before your official exam time, and you will have 180 minutes to complete the exam once you begin. Zoom into our regular class Zoom meeting. If you have any problems during the exam, I will be available Zoom.
Great. So what that means is, you guys can see me, is you need to zoom in with your phone with video at the beginning before I let you into the final. I will not open the final up to you until you do that. And then I'll let you in 8 at a time to scan your computer area. So you're going to take your phone and you're going to kind of scan. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So you're going to use your phone on Zoom, and you're going to scan your computer area and show me kind of what's around your computer area. And then you'll put your phone far away. You're going to take your phone, you're going to put it far away, out of arm's reach, so you can't reach it, kind of facing towards the computer area while you go ahead and log in and start the test. And once I've confirmed that you're in the test, I will log you out of Zoom, and then I'll reset it so you guys can come back in. The reason for that is we had some cheating going on the last exam, and then it's really hard, because then I knew for sure one person cheated, and then I thought the other person cheated, and then that was stressful for them and for me. So it's just better if like there's no question, that you definitely can't cheat, because then, no one will get, will falsely be, I will think that they've cheated when they haven't, and no one will be able, and if someone has cheated, I'll be able to know. So it'll just be a lot cleaner. So we're going to go ahead and do that at the beginning of it all. Okay, because it's with Proctorio, it's tough, right? So we want to kind of keep that as clean and easy as we can. Okay, great. And again, if you have any problems with Zoom or any problems with Proctorio, you get kicked out for whatever reason during the exam, come see me in Zoom, because I'll be there. All right. Another thing is, it's kind of useful. One of the study groups, actually in your class, what they did is before they got together in the study group and they went through, kind of sorted out how to like sort through all the material and organize it and figure out what's going on, and kind of, Haley, do you want to talk about this, or should I talk about this?
Honestly, I kind of forgot. It was from the first test, but I just kind of sorted things out so I knew where to go when we had to deal with probability, which side you had to go on, and then that way it was easier for me to remember which goes with which and how to do it. And then same thing with the counting method, so that way they kind of had an idea of which direction to go. So it was confusing myself, I guess.
Did you do this individually, or did your group do this together?
This one I did, and then we did some because the study group that I've been working with, we studied together for test 2 and test 3.
Okay, so is this one that you guys did?
We kind of did together.
Okay, so then you kind of sorted these ones out together. We kind of figure out, okay, it's going to either be a mean, which means I use the t-table and mu, or it's a proportion where I use the z-table and p, and then you guys kind of figured out, okay, it's going to be one of these things. Is it going to be a confidence interval or a hypothesis test? Confidence interval will say estimate or confidence. Hypothesis test will probably use words like claim or test or evidence. And it's confidence interval, then you should also check and see if it's find a sample size and find n kind of problem. And then the last thing you should check and make sure that if it's independent or dependent.
Yeah.
And then this was your other one here, which again, did you guys put this together as a group, or did you do this individually?
Kind of both.
Okay.
I mean, the first part of it we kind of did in class, and then I kind of just I took samples that I did from our, our homework or whatever, and then I kind of just made step-by-step instructions for myself, just so I don't get confused.
Okay, good deal. Right, so it's really good. This is a really great example of like kind of putting together your notes and organizing your thoughts, which helps you not have to use your notes as much, or when you do use your notes, it's a lot easier to kind of use them in a helpful sort of way. So thank you for that. Here is the study guide for the final, right? These are the problems from each of the study guides that you should be focusing on for the final. So only these problems from each of the previous study guides, and obviously study guide 4, since the exam 4 is rolled into the final, you need to study all those. So I'll give you guys 15 seconds, maybe 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds to take a picture of this, or to write it down. Probably take a picture of it. So maybe another 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, my office hours. So I'll be on Zoom in my office hours next week. These are the times you can reach me. I'm going to be doing a review session Tuesday, during class time. So from 3 to 4:15, which might roll over into 4:30, and then another one again from 7 to probably 8:15 or 8:30. So if you guys have questions, I'll kind of be sort of leading that maybe in a direction, possibly, but come with some questions if you have questions about specific problems you want to go over. They'll look similar to each other, these 2 sessions. They might be different by a few problems. It's going to depend upon who's there and what questions they ask. But I imagine I'll have some ideas. The second half of them might be a little bit different, is what I'm thinking possibly. And then Wednesday, I'll also be available from 4:30 to 5:30 if you guys have any questions at all about anything. All right. And if none of those times work for you and you have other questions or you have a situation you need to discuss, then feel free to email me and we can talk about that. Lab 10, the instruction file is under project in Canvas. That's for the instructions are there. And also the data that you'll need is under project part 1 in Canvas, not 2 as a typo. So go ahead and grab that from there, because again, you're going to need to have the data matched up, right? So like, you know, person number 17, whatever their height is, needs to go with their number of classes. You can't have person 17's height and person 24's number of classes going together. They need to be paired up and lined up, you know, perfectly. You can't have deleted any or you know, or mismatched them. Or otherwise your data is going to be total garbage, right? The other thing is, because this is all about linear regression, right? So you can't take casino A's casino size and casino B's revenue and match those up and say that those go together, because they don't. They're not both from the same casino, right? If you're trying to see if casino size and revenue matter. Okay, videos for it are on YouTube. The links are in Canvas, but they're blurry. So what students said is that if they just watch it, it's not very useful. However, another student, what they did was he read the directions first, and then he followed along the video in Excel and on Canvas as he watched it, pausing when he needed to kind of do some stuff, and then starting again, and then pausing and starting again. And then he read the directions first. Then it made a lot of sense, and it was really helpful then. But otherwise, not so much. Also, Office 365 is available for free to all students. I think I have some links in Canvas on how to get that. That gives you Excel and Word and PowerPoint and other things. I think there's also another free, if you watch the video, I think there's another free program that also works, that gives you, you know, all the things that you need to do for this to get the full points. If you use Google Sheets, then there's one part that you can't do because it doesn't give that option to do it. I tried and I couldn't get it to work. So if you use Google Sheets, then you know, then you're just going to lose 3 or 4 points on the project out of 20, which isn't that big a deal. So if you're okay with that, then you can just use Google Sheets if you're using Google Sheets, and it'll be, I don't remember how many points it's worth. It's worth at most 4. I think it's worth 3, but it might be 4. It might be 2, but I think it's 3 and it could be 4. So just fair warning on that one. All right.
Professor?
Yes.
For the video walkthrough, is it the one that you sent in the Canvas message of
for Lab 10?
Yeah, for Lab 10.
Yeah, that is. Yes.
Is it you going through it or another person
It's
going
me going through it last semester. So it's what I did with my classes last semester, and I think the video, I think that day for some reason I accidentally had switched to only 720p instead of 1080, so it's not as clear. The resolution isn't as good. So some people complained and said it was blurry, but it is me. Yeah.
Okay.
And not going through everything. There was another one I put in there about using regression in Office 365, which is a different link.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not me. That's not me. Right.
Okay.
So that's not the one.
Video,
right. So
the video you're going through is on like a message or?
Yeah, I emailed that to you guys last week. Not this week. Not the one I emailed you yesterday, but the one I emailed to you last week. And that's also in Canvas. So I think if I go to my pictures in here, I think it's in there. I don't know where it is. It should have been in here. Oh, maybe it is. Lab 10. There we go. And yes, you email Lab 10 to me. Oh no, you don't. Wait. Yes, you do. So email Lab 10 to me. I either need an actual link to your Google Sheets if you're doing Google Sheets, or I need your actual Excel spreadsheet. Unfortunately, that's kind of how that one works. Why is this not coming on? Okay, there you go. So hopefully it'll come up. There. So here's a bunch of stuff. Exam information, videos on using Cam Scanner to save it as a PDF, and the link to the videos on the Tech Lab 10. Those are all in there. And also link to my, yeah. I'm sorry.
But that's under announcements or discussion?
I don't remember. But if you go to Canvas, the very front, this is the first thing that comes up in Canvas when you go to our class. The very first module. It's a little bit bigger than this. That's right there, and it's in the main module. It's right there, the LinkedIn video on Tech Lab 10. And you click on that, that just takes you right there. Okay.
Okay.
Good. And yes, you do email them to me. And again, like I said, I need either they'll email the link to your Google Sheets if you're doing it in Google Sheets, or I need your actual Excel file. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and start in here. Catherine, can you go ahead and read for us? Catherine?
Yeah, sure. When we have a contingency table, we can use the test of independence of variables is used to determine whether two variables are independent of or related to each other when a single sample is selected. The test of
Homogeneity? Homogeneity? Proportions
is used to determine whether the proportions of a variable are equal when several samples are selected from different populations.
Great. Good. So those are, this is the 11.2 test, and they're the same test, because remember, if two proportions are homogeneous, homogeneous means the same. So if two proportions are the same, that means they're independent. So this is really the same test. It's just that depending on what the claim is. So here, the test of independence. So it's either going to be, H0 will be that there's no relationship, because remember, H0 is always no relationship, or independent. And then H1 would be there is a relationship, or they are dependent. But you could also just, on the exam, you can use this generic O sub I equals E sub I, and O sub I is not equal to E sub I. On the homework, you're going to be needing to use kind of this fancier sort of no relationship or independent, and then H1 will be is a relationship or is dependent. All right, and then you're going to find, in step 3, you're going to find your chi-squared, which is going to be every observed value minus its expected value squared divided by the expected. So you're going to do that for every category, and then add them all up. This is that chi-squared matrix, right, 11.2. So your data is a matrix. And then the expected values, you do need to calculate them, but only the first one and the last one. First and last only, not all of them, because there's going to be like 6 to 12 of them. And rather than make you do that over and over again, just prove to me you know how to do it by doing the first one and the last one. Right? That way, you've proven you know how to do it, but you don't have to like do busy work. Right? Just show me you know how to do it by giving me the first one and the last one only. And that's by doing the row sum times the column sum divided by the grand total. Okay, and then the rest of it, you don't even have to do this part here. I made my class do it manually before, but you guys can just use your calculators. What do? You put the observed values into matrix A, and then you use stat test, chi-squared test, and put observed A, expected B. So listen up, guys. You do not have to put anything into matrix B at all. The computer, the calculator, will take your observed from matrix A, and it will calculate the expected off of that, and it will store those values into B. So you do nothing with B at all. The calculator puts stuff into B. You put stuff into A. That's it. All you gotta do is put stuff into A, and then the calculator will figure out B from that. And it'll also give you the chi-squared value and the p-value. Super, super easy. 11.2 and 11.3 are super easy. So step 1, again, you're going to state the hypothesis, identify the claim. Step 2, find the critical value using the chi-squared table. So you're going to look that up. The chi-squared table, again, looks like this. Right, you're going to look it up using your alpha up here, and degrees of freedom being the number of, the degrees of freedom is going to be that whole rows minus 1 times columns minus 1, that whole thing, and then you're going to find your chi-squared, draw your picture, and remember, it starts at 0. It can only be positive, so it's only right-tailed. It only goes to the right. So, starts off here and shade that way. It's that kind of steep up and then drifts off sort of thing. And then step 5, again, find your test value, your test stat, using stat test chi-square test, and find your first and last expected value using this whole row sum times column sum divided by grand total. Step 4, make a decision to reject or not reject the null hypothesis, and then step 5, summarize your results. All right, so the test for homogeneity of proportions is when we want to know if a bunch of proportions are equal to each other. 3 or more proportions are equal. So here, the hypothesis would be that proportion 1 equals proportion 2 equals P3 equals P4, so however many proportions you have. And H1 would be at least one proportion differs. Or you can use the generic ones on the exam. But for the homework, they're going to want you to have this kind of more specific thing going. All right, so now we're going to hop to our notes. 11.2 notes. It is where we left off in 11.2, which is at the top of the page, I believe. So we have 11.2, and then we have the hospital ones, and then we have the gender, football, baseball, hockey. That was the last stuff we did on that part last class. And then we start with this top one here, where it says, example, a psychologist randomly selected 100 people from each of 4 income groups. So it looks just like this. And it'll say example. It won't say 11.11-7. It'll just say example, a psychologist randomly selected 100 people. So it's in 11.2, it's right before you get to 11.3. So if you have the whole packet together, it's the page before 11.3 starts. Okay, let's get someone to read this one. Rosa, go ahead.
A psychologist. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. A psychologist randomly selected 100 people from each of 4 income groups and asked them if they were very happy. For people who made less than $30,000, 24% responded yes. For people who made $30,000 to $74,999, 33% responded yes. For people who made $75,000 to $90,999, 38% responded yes. And for people who made $100,000 or more, 49% responded yes. At LSAT at 0.05, test the claim that there is no difference in the proportion of people in each economic group who were very happy. How many rows and how many columns?
Okay, everybody, how many rows and how many columns are there? Everyone, private chat to me. How many columns are there? And how many rows? Remember, it goes RC. Rows and columns, RC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, nice. You guys rock. Okay, good deal. Thank you. Very prompt and quick responses. So again, this is our matrix here. Don't count the totals in there, just the numbers. So it's a 2 by 4. Perfect. So then our step 1, you should actually be writing this down in your notes because you're going to need to take pictures of this and turn it in for credit. State the hypotheses. H naught is P1 equals P2 equals P3 equals P4 because there's 4 of them. That's our claim. H1 is at least one mean differs. You need to put from the other, that's okay, just at least one mean differs. And then step 2, find the critical value. Okay, I had 2 rows, and I had 4 columns. So my degrees of freedom, I'm going to do 2 minus 1 for my rows, 4 minus 1 for my columns. So 1 times 3, 3 is going to be my critical value. So I'm going to bust out my chi-square table. Take a look at that. Actually, I think I already have that, if I'm not mistaken. And, oops, this is out of order. And it's going to be alpha is 0.05, and my degrees of freedom is 3, so I'm going to get 7.815. Incidentally, you might want to cross out, my first time I did this, I grabbed this guy over here at the very end, because it's really easy to do, right? 0.005 looks really close to 0.05. So if you want to go ahead and cross that out of your sheet, feel free to do that. And then you can also cross out these guys, because sometimes it gets confusing and they just mix things up and confuse things as well. I also might recommend putting 10% above this one and 1% above that one so that you don't, you know, people think this is 10% sometimes because it just looks like it if you take a quick glance. So maybe make some notes on your sheets to clean that up and make them not be as confusing as we kind of go through things. Okay, so my critical value is 7.815. Oops. That is my second step here. And then you're going to draw a picture. It's going to go up. Well, maybe I'll draw a picture. Yeah. All right. It's going to go up and then out. And then I'm going to draw in here, and this is going to be 7.815. Maybe I will not do that way. It's going to be. All right. And then let me. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Don't die. Like that. And then let me go ahead and put in 7.815 down there. Great. All right. So there we have it. And then our next step is to calculate. We're going to have to find the expected value, step 3, expected value for this first slot and this last slot here. And then find our chi-squared, the test stat. So our expected value for the first one is going to be, it's a very top one, 24. So I'm going to grab, for 24, I'm going to grab 144 is its row total, 100 is its column total. I'm going to divide by 400 the grand total. So I'm going to do that, and I'll get 36. And then we'll grab for the last one, we'll grab for him, we'll grab his row total and his column total, multiply those, and divide by the grand total. And for that one, we'll get 64. Just go ahead and get those out of there. Okay, so you guys should have all that written down, hopefully. And then you do not have to do all these calculations here, and you don't have to find all the rest of them. Instead, we're just going to use to find our test stat of 14.149, we're going to use our calculator. So you're going to go to second matrix. I'll show you it again. Second, and then matrix. Down here, you can see the matrix right there. And then go over to edit. And we want A, so just hit enter on A, and then put in wherever you want. So if you want a 3 by 3, you put in 3 by 3, and it would create a 3 by 3 matrix for you. But we want I'm going to arrow up, I want a 2 by 4, 2, enter, 4, enter. And then I'm going to put them in, 24, 33, 38, 49. And as soon as I hit enter, it's going to jump me to the next row. So 26, 67, 62, 51. And then you got to double check your, see, I already made a mistake. Double check your numbers, because if you screw this up, you're going to get the wrong answer, and you'll have no idea that you do, and everything will be all wrong, and you'll have no clue that it's wrong. Oh, here's another one. It should be 76. Okay, good. So double check your numbers, and then you're going to do stat, tests, and you're going to arrow up, because that's the easiest way to get to chi-squared tests, towards the very bottom. Enter, observed A, expected B, calculate. Boom, and there it gives it to you. It gives you all your stuff right there. So that's perfect. Right, again, you're going to input it, and then you're going to go to test, chi-squared tests, input A into there, and then B, you don't have to worry about B, because it will calculate stuff and put it into B. So you don't do anything, you do nothing with B. The calculator takes care of it and stores it. It stores the expecteds into B. And then it gives you this as well. So there's my chi-squared, 14.149. So here's my picture. Here's my critical value, shaded, and then my my test stat, 14.149. So totally in the rejection region. So I'm going to reject the null hypothesis. So you just write reject H naught. That's all you got to write, reject null hypothesis. You don't have to say why, just reject H naught. So then, step 5, there is enough evidence to reject the claim that there is no difference in proportions. There is enough evidence to reject the claim that proportions are the same, or no difference in proportions. Either one's fine. Okay, so hopefully you guys are good to go on your quiz problem 1. Double check it, see if you need to make any changes in it. If you do, do it quickly, like right now, because we're going to move on and take a look at that.
Professor, so for the chi-squared,
yeah.
We don't need to, like after step 3, we don't need to put it anywhere special. We just put it on the little drawing that we
On
did.
the drawing, yep. Yep, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, it's no different than chapter 8. All right, so here's our quiz problem 1. This is the problem you guys had. So you might want to look at the claim and say, oh look, my claim is that being the victim of a crime is independent of knowing the criminal. So you could say for your step 1, alternatively, you could say an option would be H naught is being victim is independent of knowing criminal. So that's kind of long and wordy. And then your H1 would be being victim is dependent on knowing criminal. So you could say that if you wanted to. And that would be a little bit longer, but totally accurate as well, right? And your book is going to make you do this in the homework. I am going to let you get away with just this on the exam. The critical value, again, it's, let's see, I have how many rows and how many columns? I've got 2 rows and 3 columns. So that's going to be 2 minus 1 times 3 minus 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. My alpha is 0.05. So degrees of freedom 2, alpha is 0.05 will be this one right here. It'll be 5.991. So then you're going to draw a little picture. Oh dear, now I've left myself in a place for my picture. Okay, see, get that up there. Here's my picture. And shade. And this is 5. Oh, I better not do it that way. I better do it with the typing thing. 5.9191. All right, so there's my critical value in there. Maybe I'll try to move him up a little bit so he's not sitting on top of the table too much. Okay, great. That's my step 2. Step 3, I need to figure out my first and last expected values. So for 12, I'm going to take my 1158 multiplied by my column total, which is 51, and I'll get 30.4. And then for the other one, I'm going to take the last one. I'm going to take 787, my row total multiplied by my column total of 1409, divide by 1245, and I'll get 570.1. And again, you just need to do that because rather than make you do all 6 of these, I just need to prove to me you know how to do them. So just do me the first and the last, and that's good enough. That's proving that you know how to do them and not just for the first one. Right? It gives you a little bit of assurances that you know what you're doing with that. And then find your chi-squared. So you're going to put this matrix up here into matrix A, and then do chi-squared, do a chi-squared test on it, and you're going to get chi-squared equal to, what did you guys get? Ashley, what did you guys get? $112.37. Yeah, okay. I think that seems right. So that is your chi-squared. Totally in the rejection region, right? I mean, it's totally in the rejection region. If you look back here, it's way out here. 112, it's way out there, right? Oh dear, sorry, my bad. So it's totally in the guilty region, which means we're absolutely going to reject H naught. So here we're going to reject H naught. Oh, yep, reject H naught. Oh, it's not taking it. Oh, that's not useful. Okay, reject H naught, right? And which means we do have enough evidence to reject the claim that the portions are the same. Or you could have said to reject the claim that, or you could have said, enough evidence to support the claim that that being a victim is related to knowing your attacker. You could do that as well. Either one of those is fine. This is what I would do this is fine on the exam, or you could, like I said, you could say, I'll give you that one too. Or enough evidence to support claim being victim related to knowing attacker. Oh boy, I need to make it clear this way too. There. So either one of those is fine. Totally fine with either one of those, depending on what you guys, which way you guys want. If you want the fancy way or the basic way. All right, questions on that one? Any questions at all? No questions? Okay, so you guys do problem 3 on your worksheet. I'm going to put you guys back into your groups, and then I'll give you guys 8 minutes to do this, and then take a break from 8:34 to 8:44, and then I'll pull you guys back into 8:44. So we'll start back here at 8:45 sharp.